I'm James from Mortgage Choice Miami, Burleigh and Palm Beach, and today for On the Couch we've come to Palm Beach. And on the couch today we have Rhys Wildermoth from First National Palm Beach. Rhys.
How are you, James? Thanks for having me.
No, thank you for coming. Thanks for agreeing to come and sit down on the couch with us.
It's a pleasure, absolute pleasure.
So you've seen the format, so I'll ask you a couple of the questions.
Sure, go for it.
And we'll kick in. So
Excellent.
Rhys, what was your first car?
You're making me nervous.
What was your first car?
So my first car was a 1979 Vauxhall Chevette. Paid $300 for that.
$300. So
Yep.
that was that New Zealand or is that?
Yeah, New Zealand.
In New Zealand.
Yeah. Yep.
So that was an old, for any of the listeners that don't understand, that is an old English car. Used to have a few issues occasionally with head gaskets and things like that.
Absolutely.
Did you have the same problem?
Absolutely. Yeah, I parked it and left it at the wreckers. There was no repairing it.
You didn't get any money for it then?
No.
No. Superb. Right, what is your favourite sports team?
No real favourites, but my last bit of New Zealand is holding on to the All Blacks. I have a soft spot for the All Blacks.
So this coming, I think today the World Cup kicks off.
Yeah, Japan kicks off, I think, tonight actually.
So you'd be rooting for the All Blacks then?
I think so. I've been in Australia for 21 years and I've had the operation. I'm part of the country, but I still hold on to the All Blacks.
So you've stopped chasing sheep around and all
Absolutely.
that? Yeah, excellent. That's good.
Absolutely.
That's good. Right, now I think I know this one, but your favourite destination for a holiday?
Yeah, look, we love to slip over to Burleigh a couple of times a year. It's almost our second home over there now.
So where do you go?
We stay at South Kuta. We normally stay on the beach right in South Kuta. I have a friend living there and we surf out the front there, so we love it.
Okay, beautiful.
Yeah, it's good.
So if you're doing that over this number of years, how long have you been now here in Palm Beach?
Been living and working in Palm Beach the whole time, 21 years.
Yeah.
Living currently, in Currumbin Waters, but working predominantly out of Palm Beach.
So if you look at you now, what would be your biggest business achievement that you've got through?
I think looking back at my real estate career, which started in 2014, my biggest achievement to date is to be top 10 in Queensland for 2 years running, and this year I'm hoping to crack top 5 in Queensland. So
superb. So that's through the entire First National network, yeah?
That's the Queensland State Awards for that one.
Superb. That's a big achievement. That's good. So what and where was your first house?
My first house was in Leyte Ave at Palm Beach.
So that's a couple of K from here or something?
Yeah, a couple of K walk from here. $165,000. I paid for that one in 2004.
Wow. Yeah.
And probably shouldn't have sold it. It's probably worth about 8 times that amount now. I have sold it a couple of times since.
So you bought it, lived in it, and then now you're a real estate agent, have sold it a couple of times?
Sold it since I've sold it twice. So now it's currently with an investor.
Okay. History of your career. So tell me, where have you come from and where are we at now?
Yep, so I've been buying and selling houses, as I said, for roughly 15 years now. And at the end of 2013, I bought a house on the hill in Eleanor.
Okay.
And I got to know the agent that sold me the property. She got me a break into the industry, so I started fresh at the start of 2014. And it was a fairly quick start to my career. I managed to break in quickly, and it's not an easy industry to break into. So sort of picked up half a dozen properties in the first 4 or 5 weeks, and it's sort of taken off from there.
It's really sort of rocketed, the amount of property that you now do, hasn't it? So it's
currently selling sort of 45 to 50 houses a year now. So the numbers are there, and thankfully my reputation is good to go with it. So.
And how look, if you look at the area now, Palm Beach. So you've moved here, you live here, you work here. What's the history of this area?
So Palm Beach was always a sleepy suburb. It was sort of one of the latest suburbs to move forward, and now we're seeing a lot of cafes, a lot of new homes being built, a lot of duplexes and townhouses being constructed. So the density is increased, I guess you'd say, in Palm Beach, but it's still a beautiful place to live. It's flat. everything is close to the beach. It's a wonderful
There's
spot.
so many restaurant choices now as well, aren't
Absolutely.
there? Restaurants and bars and
Absolutely.
yeah. So it's, if you go back even 5 years, there wasn't any of that choice.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, a lot of, it's just such a central place to everything. Everything runs to a proximity to the beach, so you're never any further back than a couple of k's from the beach in Palm Beach, and it travels up the coast from Currumbin Creek through to Tullabudgera Creek, so you're sitting between two wonderful waterways as well. So it's fantastic.
And then you've obviously got the valley as well that you can go out to
Yep.
from that side too, and Eleanor and all that as well. So.
Yeah, absolutely.
So what, your biggest tip for a seller? What is your biggest tip? If you're seeing a seller, what is it? What is the biggest thing you could give them?
My biggest advice to sellers is to market your properties well. Don't look for shortcuts when selling properties. Always market to the best. Never skimp on marketing. Always use all channels when marketing, including social and digital.
So that's that. You're talking then video. You're talking social media.
Video, yes. Social media, which is your Instagram and Facebook. We're heavily into Instagram and Facebook, and a big part of our business is Facebook and Instagram. We're selling properties directly off our business pages.
And you're trying to make that property stand out. That's the key of what you're trying to achieve.
Absolutely, and you're just giving it that digital presence is what you want. The days where we used to sit down and buy the paper and look for property in the paper, that print era is sort of disappearing in the industry now, and it's a digital industry we're in. So.
Yeah, it's very different now, isn't it? It can, even going back 5 years, going back 10 years, it's
Absolutely.
completely revolutionised. So.
Absolutely.
So you're dealing with the seller, but what if you're a buyer? What's your top tip for a buyer?
Don't muck around. Don't muck around. Never hold back. I see first home buyers, Saturday after Saturday, appearing at open houses, putting offers forward. I think if there's something left in the tank, I would always advise to give it, because we're in a strong market. There's not a huge amount of property coming on the market at the moment, so you do need to put your best foot forward.
Okay, so the big key there for your buyers is not to muck around and to put your best foot forward. Yeah?
Absolutely, and to have a good relationship with a broker, of course.
That's awesome. How do you feel about the future? So we're here today. How do you feel about the future now in our market here?
Well, we seem to be sitting in a bubble here on the Gold Coast, and we don't seem to see the rises and falls that you see in the southern states. So definitely things have been slowly increasing, and I don't see it flattening. A lot of people are saying to me they're waiting for the bubble to burst, and I think that's fraught with danger, especially given the growth that we're seeing in these suburbs, and even pushing back into Eleanor and Currumbin waters. Those suburbs are seeing, on a percentage rate, they're actually growing as quick as Palm Beach and Currumbin waters as well.
I suppose as a city, we're very long. It's not there's not that far we can build out. We've got the motorway, then we've got the big arterial roads in between.
Absolutely.
There's only a certain strip of land available.
Absolutely, and you've got to look at position as well when you buy. And obviously, this beachside is becoming so much more dense, and you are paying a premium down here now. But out on the hills there is certainly a lovely spot to be living as well.
If you're not from the Gold Coast, to know that you can be on the beach, get in your car, drive for 5 minutes, and you're out to the west, and you've got rolling hills and cows, and it's like farmland.
Yeah, absolutely.
It doesn't take long to do that, does it? So
absolutely, and you can live the acreage lifestyle here, which is another unique part of the Gold Coast, and be a 5-minute drive to the beach. It's amazing.
Yeah,
absolutely
superb.
incredible.
Well, thank you so much for joining us today.
It's a pleasure, James.
This is
Always
Rhys
a pleasure.
Wildermoth from First National Palm Beach, and I'm James from Mortgage Choice Miami, Burleigh and Palm Beach. Thanks, Rhys.
Thanks very much, James.